guy bragged about how he loves to cook. It's almost like he used the entire packet of salt and poured it inside. Like it had it.
Do you know what Nigerian people? Sorry, sidebar. Stop talking in the cinema.
Did she pimp you out?
That my first day in Lagos. Ah God, Lagos girls. Hi, Buru, Kani. Bro!
What a wagoo.
When I tell you, my chest was tight. All I kept thinking was, oh my laja.
Hi guys, welcome back to our podcast. Welcome back to Naija Girls Dish with Dolapo
and Diana.
Okay, today it's gonna be about a couple of story times. We're gonna tell you a story, personal. I don't know. Well, okay, I'll start. Should I start?
No, knock yourself out. I'm here to listen. Okay.
I've told this story before, but not on this platform. So let's try it like this. Okay, I'm gonna talk about a date I went on. In Nigeria.
Okay, so see, pause.
I'm nervous. Okay, now. So I went on this date. This guy was really nice. This is before I was married, obviously. So I just moved back to Nigeria, and we went out somewhere, me and some friends, and I met this guy. It's really nice. You know, he was very American in the sense of he wore very baggy clothes.
Was it a real American or fake American? Was it
No, it was.
You know what I'm saying?
It was a real American.
Okay.
Like he's Nigerian, but he moved back. But it's just very baggy clothes. Like the shirt was like down to his knees.
Oh, XXL.
The trousers were very big. Like it was almost like I'm a 90s girl. That kind of.
What the heck is that reference?
I'm showing you the video. Oh, I'm showing my age. Anyway, moving on. Moving on. If you know, you know.
Apparently, I don't know.
These children of now.
It's not that the gap is small. It's not that big. It's medium size.
They don't know.
Anyway,
they don't know.
Sorry, time. Let me continue.
Okay, so anyway, he's like, oh, you know, let's go for it. So, do you ever look back and think, am I mad? So this guy was like, let's go on a date. Like that, he wants to cook for me. This guy bragged about how he loves to cook. He loves to cook, and you know, he was like, he has his own apartment, whatever. I was even thinking, see prospects. So wow, you know, he's got his own place. First date, and like the mad person I am, I agreed to go to this guy's house. So that's why I'm looking back and I'm thinking, was it the first date? Because that doesn't make any sense. Why would I have done that? Anyway,
stranger danger.
So I go with my driver so they know where I am, so that if I don't come out, they know that something has happened, right? So he told me where he lived, and I was like, okay, cool. It seemed like a nice part of town. And then as we were,
I like how he told me where he lived. It seemed like a nice part of town. Because if he said Oshogbo.
So he said where he lived, but it's like, you know where it's like on the cusp, like
adjacent.
Like you say you live in this catchment area, but it's not really.
Wait, so when people say Lekki, but they really mean
so
Aja.
When they said Ikoyi, but like
Bodilon.
No,
that's nice.
Bodilon is even nice. Yes, no, but like
there's traffic share, but
it's not like. Anyway, look.
Is it that part of Ikoyi that feels like Lagos Island?
Anyway, Sha, which is fine, right? Anyway, look, it's not even about the place. So he just basically said it was in a particular place, and it really wasn't. Really. Okay. Maybe that's what he thought. So it doesn't matter, because I was like, okay, cool. So I get there, and it's literally like my car's outside, and I'm looking around thinking, man, wow, this really looking like I'm about to get robbed. So anyway, I shall enter some flights of steps, get to the apartment. You know where it's like a horror film, lift.
I wouldn't enter lift in Nigeria anyway.
You know it's like a horror film, so the light is flickering. The fluorescent light is flickering. I don't think, and I'm all dolled up. I must have really been new. I went to, but do you know what's weird is that even when I was living in England, would I have gone to a man's house?
Never. This is why I'm actually looking at you.
This is the only time I've ever done this, and I don't know. Was I desperate? Like, I'm questioning myself. Was it? But I'm even like, maybe it wasn't the first date.
It couldn't have been, because I'm sorry, Dolapo, you seem more responsible than that.
I am more responsible.
Stranger danger.
And if my children watch this, don't do what mommy did. This makes no damn sense, okay? Anyway.
Everybody, don't do this.
I venture into this guy's flat. Really nice. And he's flambeing the prawns.
Flambe?
You know, he adds like some vodka or something. The fire comes out.
Are you serious?
And you know, the apartment is quaint. It's quaint.
Why did you use that word?
Because it was quaint.
I know, but that word was strong. As soft as it is, and you said it soft-spokenly.
It was quaint. It was quaint. It was nice. It was nice.
She
It was
says
quaint.
small.
Look, hey, he was doing his thing and he had his own apartment. Good for him.
He's doing bits, mate.
You know? And then, so he made this, and this guy spoke about the fact that he loves to cook. So I was like, Naija guy, and he's going to cook for me. Wow, okay. So now made the food, presented it, everything. So he got up to go get something, and I proceeded to put the food in my mouth.
Hey. Was it tar?
It was like
Rank.
ass. I mean, I have not eaten ass. Nor will I proceed to eat ass. But if I knew what ass tasted like, his food tasted like ass. It was disgo. Like, and the weirdest thing is that this guy bragged about how he loves to cook. It's almost like he used the entire packet of salt and poured it inside. Like, it just made no sense. It was so disgusting. So, just first of all, the vibe, the flickering lights outside, the quaint apartment, the food. It's almost, even before I tasted food, I already decided that this was not going to. Have you ever been on dates where you already know?
Excuse me, it's the date where you show up and they said they were 6 feet and they're 5'5". I'm already done.
So I put the food in my mouth and then I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm not really hungry or something. Like I couldn't even pretend to eat it.
Was
I
that
couldn't.
bad?
It was that bad. It
So
was
you did all that flambe and smoking
bad.
for what?
It was that bad, and he was tucking in.
Oh.
Tucking in to the ass tasting food. He tucked into it. And I think I was there for, I swear, half an hour. And then I made an excuse and I left and I went home. And he never spoke to me. I think he's not stupid.
Yeah.
I know.
Can you imagine though, losing a babe because of your food sucks? First and foremost, how do you oversalt? How does one oversalt?
My thing is that he must have cooked for people before and no one told him the truth.
Family members are evil, Sha.
Let's be frank. I
They
didn't
be
tell him the truth.
No, you're not his family member. You don't owe him anything.
Yeah. So that's my story.
Oh Lord. First and foremost, what did we learn from that, guys? Don't go to people's houses
on the first date. I don't, honestly speaking, if I look back at also the person I am and the person I was is pretty similar. I would not have gone to somebody's house on the first date. So I don't think it was, but I don't remember seeing him
before.
I just remember it being that one thing.
Well, thank God he only tried to cook for you once. Oh, no thanks.
I hope you are well, Sha.
Not your well.
I hope you are well wherever you are. And I hope somebody's cooking for you now.
Bruh.
Anyway, moving on.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Story time, guys. So, there was a period in my life where I lived in Canada. I lived in Vancouver and then I moved to Toronto. But when I lived in... Was this in Toronto? Yeah, it was in Toronto. So Vancouver was just too... what's the word I'm looking for?
Vanilla.
Child. It was a whole wafer. It was too much. I couldn't take it. And the thing is, I'm not even someone that needs to live somewhere that has, a wild amount of black people. But no black people is suspect for me. So I was like, okay, bun this. We moved to Toronto, which has plenty black people. I had an apartment, and everything's just kind of chill vibes. I had a cousin who lived there and we went out one night, met this girl, really lovely girl. She was just like Nigerian that lived in Canada. And she came up to me, she was just so friendly. She was like, hi, kind of like, I want to be your friend. I was like, oh, okay.
Out of nowhere.
Listen, out of nowhere.
And you didn't think that was suspect?
See, listen, wait, let me land first. I think I've been living in Toronto maybe a couple months. And I am suspect about everyone, guys. Everyone. But I was in that phase of my life. I think I was 23 when I was like, I can't always be this suspect about everyone.
Gotta open up, meet new people.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm in a new place.
Crazy people.
Wait now. And I was even thinking, my fellow Nigerian, do you understand? We have common interests. We're from the same country. Anyways, so we exchanged numbers. Then homegirl messages me one day. And I remember vividly because I used to have I had more hair back then. I had just washed my hair. I was like, She called me, she's like, what are you doing? Oh, I just washed my hair. I'm just like, oh, I'm going to hang out with a friend and I don't want to go by myself. Like, this guy is kind of twisting me. I don't want to go by myself. I was like, do you know what? It's always nice to have a wingman. You don't want to be going to, unlike somebody that went to somebody's house by themselves, but we move anyways.
Why are we
don't,
judge? This is
no,
a
it's
no
not
judgment zone.
No judgment zone, but I'm just reminding you of the story you just heard.
I said I don't remember if it was the first date.
Okay, sorry, Atigba. So I was like, do you know what? Let me be homegirl's wingman, wing woman. You know, she's
The person that just said I want to be your friend, you didn't think it was
I think it's been a
suspect.
couple weeks. I should have known. I was 20. I was smart. I'd lived in a couple countries by 23. Anywho, so
I was in my 20s, Sha.
Okay, so we're all in that era of life. So I went and I met her at her apartment. Cool beans. It was all good and gravy. She's like, oh, the guy's downstairs. Let's go and meet him. Okay, cool. We're inside the guy's car. Oh God, we're inside the guy's car. The guy was smiling. He tried to lean in to kiss her. She dodged it. And I'm sitting there in the back thinking, oh God, this is my life. But it's all right, we move. He takes us to the cinema. He gets us popcorn. Cool, we sit down. Why did homegirl make me sit next to the man? I had to sit next to this guy and I was so confused. I was like, why are you two not sitting next to each other? And then the guy is fully trying to make conversation in the cinema. Do you know what Nigerian people, sorry, sidebar, stop talking in the cinema.
Did she pimp you out?
No. Oh, we're getting there. No, that happened. No, that's a different story time. That happened to me in Lagos. That my first year.
Lord.
That my first year in Lagos. Ah, God, Lagos girls. Hi, Buru, anyways, we move. So we're at the cinema, blah blah blah, all good. It's weird because I'm sitting next to this guy. I don't know him. I just met him. Whereas your babe is a seat down from me, eating popcorn, watching film. As me, some man is there rubbing knee with me. I'm not understanding why your knee is touching my knee. No problem. She's like, oh, I'm feeling a bit tired. I'm gonna go home after the cinema. He drops us home. He drops us at house. I was ready to go. She said, okay, next guy's coming in 5 minutes. Dolapo, you don't understand.
Wait,
You don't understand.
I think we need a pause.
No.
Then, sorry, what? The
next guy's coming in 5 minutes. I was
to
weak.
take you.
No, you don't understand. My pelvic floor dropped. I was so confused.
There's like a revolving door of.
She had them on speed dial. She had them as a roller coaster. So we hadn't even, them apartments, we have to enter like a block of flats. We'd gone in, we had not even gone up the stairs. She was like, oh, do you know, he's here. This is my face. I didn't even say anything because when you're like, I was too shocked to comment. Now, so, next one pull up. Now, the problem with this next one, he had daddy vibes. He had uncle vibes. He wasn't old. He just had adopted the belly of someone that was old. Wow. So we get in his car. And I'm just saying, hi, nice to meet you, Diana. Anyways, we drive. We're still driving. We drive Saute, we get to Mississauga. If you know Canada, and downtown Toronto to Mississauga, we now get there. We end up going to like a club night and Beanie Man was performing. It's so random. Beanie Man performs. My guy is drinking heavily and I'm thinking, who's driving us home? My man is drinking. And don't get me wrong, I lived in Nigeria. Actually, at this point, I hadn't lived in Nigeria, so I was 23. So I hadn't even been around the vibes of driving drunk, which you shouldn't do, by the way. So he's drinking, he's having a good old time. He's kind of tried to do a little small wine, but when you curve it and you now turn your body around that way so you can curve the wine. Homegirl is there having a good old time too. So I'm thinking, okay, club is closing down. He's like, oh, do you know what? It's late.
Let's stop over somewhere and stay.
Is
that what he said?
He said it's late. So I don't want to drive you guys back. So my house is in Mississauga.
Oh, wow.
Bro!
What a wahoo.
When I tell you, my chest was tight. All I kept thinking was, oh my laja. Yeah! That's all I kept thinking. So we get there. All this time, my brain didn't even process. Do you know when I was young, I think I was in my broke stage of life. I couldn't even order a cab. Because let's be honest, I was a poor 23-year-old. I was broke as shit. Okay, cool. We get to his apartment. The girl goes to the bedroom and just crashes, falls asleep. And I was like,
this girl is very bold.
No, that's wild. He was like, no, you guys can take the bed. No, I said, I'll take the living room, thank you. He said, you can take the bed, Dolapo. As he said, we can take the bed, I was like, no, thank you. Maybe 2 hours into it, I was sitting there in the sofa. I think I dozed off a little bit, but my spirit couldn't allow me to fully fall out. He now came, sat next to me. Say, you all right? He was now there, he was like, I can't sleep. I was like, nah, I'm good. When he sat, I was like, listen, I'm just gonna sit here. Guys, I didn't sit on the sofa, I sat on the floor near the door. When the morning arrived, the way I was ready to go, I will never in my life follow a foolish goat human being.
That is the moral of the story.
Guys, I said from up to down till today, at my big age, I don't know how that thing happened. Her name was Stephanie.
You know what the funny thing is? The first time is okay. It's the second time. Why did you follow her the second time?
You know, I didn't even know how to say no. I didn't really know what was happening. And I didn't think I all thought it would be local. My brain didn't process. I was 23.
And my thing is that why is it with each guy? She seemed to be the one to just be like, bye.
So I think deep down there was a pimpish energy to it.
I'm
the worst one to pimp out because sis, we ain't about that life. But yes, that is me in a nutshell. And yeah, we know better now.
You know what? I think we have to do another story time.
Oh God.
Episode because I literally, as you talk, I literally thought about 3 other situations.
Oh God.
Or just worst dates.
Oh no. I think the worst is just saying you're 6 feet and you're 5'5".
Oh.
Guys, do better.
There's nothing wrong being 5'5", Sha.
No,
don't lie about it.
just don't lie. And no thank you.
On that note.
Okay.
Till the next one. Bye.
Next week. Bye.